So that's why I say it's impossible to be able to measure the angle between two verticals. Now, is that a priori, or is it a posteriori? Which brings us into the I've made a song, about
I think you're bored, John, out of the room.
Nathan Oakley's last live stream. We've made an argument, called the measured flat destructive dichotomy. Have you ever heard of a destructive dilemma?
Me?
Yeah. Well, anyone?
Nope.
No. It's like a modus tollens on steroids. Like whichever one you pick, you're going to end up falsifying. So it falsifies the measured flat claim, which obviously is ridiculous. So I made a song about it.
No.
Hey, Bev.
I'm good.
Is a soccer ball a sphere near enough?
A ball.
A soccer
It's a
ball.
Yeah, it's a ball.
Is it spherical? Roughly, not perfect, but roughly.
Yeah, it's a ball.
Is it a globe or globular?
It's a ball.
Yeah, what shape is it?
It's a ball.
Yeah, but what shape is it?
It's a ball.
A
A ball is a shape, right?
I think
A
you broke that.
Euclidean sphere, solid.
The guy called Word Salad. Sadly, you should have had his name.
Why? You think a ball isn't a good enough descriptor for it as a shape?
Yeah, of course it is.
Well, there you go then. You already said that.
Yeah, but it's also a sphere, and it's also a globe.
Well,
Rough, not perfect. I agree, but roughly.
okay. But you don't believe that you live on a ball, do you?
I don't believe. No, I know.
Good. Now this knowing, right? Have you ever done the a priori, a posteriori? Fancy words, I know.
Yeah, they are fun.
A priori means before experience. It's knowledge gained before experience, and a posteriori is knowledge gained after experience.
Well, I've never been to space. No, I'll admit.
No, well, I mean that's not what we were talking
That's
about.
do, wouldn't you, to see it?
Well, I mean, space is just the distance between physical objects, so you don't need to go anywhere to experience space.
Yeah, outer space.
So, do you have anything that's a priori, something that comes before experience?
Yeah, well, yeah, but I just don't want to get into it, Bev. I was just wondering if you could honestly admit the shape of a soccer ball, but no.
Yeah, I did. I said it's a Euclidean
ball.
solid sphere. Yeah, commonly known as a ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is the Earth a ball?
Earth is dirt.
Yes, it's a sphere.
It doesn't have a shape.
It doesn't
Come
have a
on,
shape.
Bev.
Yeah, much
Stop
like
it.
it's like a globe.
Bev, you're not a
It's
flat
like
earther, remember? Come on.
I know I'm not a flat earther. Yeah, flat earth is
Okay,
gone,
then
right?
yeah.
We can get rid of the flat earth because that's fucking ridiculous, right? Nobody wants to enable something that isn't real, right? It's been definitely proved false on many accounts.
Definitely, I agree.
Okay.
I just heard Bev
So-
say
You know, I mean, there's only one other explanation for certain phenomena.
Yeah, which phenomenon?
I don't know. Pick one.
Sun circles?
No.
Not the sun circles.
What do you mean by sun circle? I mean,
The ones that we observed when they went to Antarctica.
oh yeah, that. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Counter-rotating sun circles because they were
Yep.
rotating in the opposite direction from what everybody observes in the north.
Yep.
But the Australians
Dark
must
trail.
have known about it, right?
I mean, obviously, yeah.
There's a lot of Australian flat earthers that have been listening to people like Nathan Oakley, and they've been talking about Polaris, and they've never even seen it. Never even seen Polaris.
But like the thing is, like when they see the sunset in the opposite direction, that should have told them, wait a minute, this can't happen.
Yeah, they should have. So one of the Australian flat earthers should have said, "Hey, wait a minute. Nathan Oakley seems to be talking about Polaris, and I can't see that. Perhaps I may as well look into this myself." But they didn't. They just trusted Nathan Oakley and his ridiculous measurements of angles.
Well, that was our bit, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Well, that's what I made the song about, right? Because
I want to hear the song, Bev. Come on.
you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it, right? I'll post it in the chat in a minute.
You made a song, Bev?
Yeah. But this is the concept, right? You've got to take this on as a concept, as a guy, right? There's a guy who's a flat earther called Nathan Oakley, and he believes that everybody else measures the earth flat. But the one thing that he does know is that he hasn't, right? He's never measured the earth flat himself. He knows that because
out of his living room, Bev.
he knows he's never done it. But he believes that every measurement is axiomatically linked to the flat earth, yet he knows he's never done it.
It's true.
So I had to make a song about it. Well, let me get it for you.
Can't we get it live, Bev?
I don't know. Can I?
I don't think AI does live.
No, I want Bev to sing it.
I don't know. I'm not singing it. Jesse might sing it.
At least I sing my own songs.
Let me get it then. Oh.
You need to open more tabs, Bev. That's not nearly enough.
He's doing some high IQ research.
We watching Jesse's stream or no?
You want to watch this, don't you?
I thought he was playing your song. No.
Yeah, you should have just queued up. Play the song.
Takes a bit to get going. Right, there you go.
Where did his
All right.
hair go?
I think somebody said to him one day, you look like you're going a little bit bald there. You know, like it came off the back of Arwen thing, you know, and they just said to him, and he's a bit vain, so he shaved it off like the next day.
Okay.
I think it's a good look. It is a good look for the last king of flat Earth.
He wanted to measure something smooth, if not flat.
He looks like a globe.
He's never done it himself. That's the point.
Not only has he done anything himself, other than make an ass of himself.
But he does think flat Earth is a retard.
Yeah, I know. That's him. He's played everyone. Like he says everybody else measures the Earth flat. And did you see the look of disdain on his face when he says you and your flat Earth measurements, right? Like you are the ones that's measured the Earth flat, not him.
But there are 0 flat Earth measurements that I've seen. Just pull one up. Bring it here.
Yeah, that's what I've told him. I told him any measurement that you would make would be a measurement of how flat it isn't.
All right.
But that's the point of the song, right? He believes everybody else can do impossible things. But he knows he hasn't done it himself.
Well, maybe he lives on a
Proper
tetra
psychological problems, that.
He'd have to leave his house to figure anything out.
He's meant to be writing a book that he's titled the Flat Earth Reference Book.
Yeah, but he's not writing it, no?
Well, he's never done anything. He admits. The only thing he's got is measured flat, and that's the one thing that he hasn't done. And he's willing to tell everyone. Because it's a brilliant defense mechanism now. Because anytime you go and ask him, he'll say that he hasn't done it. That you've done it for him. He doesn't need to do it.
He couldn't do it.
The idea of a priori, right? Somebody has managed to convince Nathan Oakley that measuring the Earth flat is a priori. You don't need any experience of doing it to be able to have this knowledge that the Earth is measured flat.
Well, you could examine the measurements.
He admits he's never done it. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need any of this a posteriori.
Come on, Bev, you've
right?
heard him say over and over again, the Earth is measured flat. That would require. It would require at least reading a measurement, a flat measurement of the Earth.
No.
Like one, any one.
No. It can't be, can it? Because that's experience. And he hasn't got it. He's willing to say that. He has no experience. So his knowledge of measuring the Earth flat, somebody's convinced him he doesn't need experience. It's before experience. That's a priori. So Nathan Oakley has this mental condition where he believes measuring the Earth flat is a priori. But the only reasoning he has is that the Earth is measured flat. It's like somebody's wrote it on a wall somewhere, like a shadow. And they've cast this shadow on the wall. And Nathan Oakley's just got it. And he's gone, okay, that's all I need. I don't even need to measure anything. He's never measured an angle to Polaris. He's never measured a distance. 69 miles. Even on a map. He's never put a ruler to a map. He's never held a measuring rod and seen an elevation change, read any measurement like that. Yet he believes the Earth's measured flat. And that's his number one argument.
Yeah, I have heard him back in the day say everybody else goes out and does it for him.
Yeah, 10th Man sold him this celestial navigation thing, which is the circles of equal altitude. Now, they'll say that, you know, they never had this model of the AE map, but the AE map works up to the equator. That's the whole idea of it. It's a azimuthal equidistant. These 69 miles are all equal between these latitudes.
Better up to the equator, but it doesn't work perfectly.
Well, it's meant to be
any of the circumferences, right?
It's a linear operation, the 69 miles to each thing, a mathematically linear operation, right? For every 1 degree, there's a 69 mile distance.
Yeah, and if you do that around the equator, you find out that its circumference is, about 60% smaller than it should be, 40% smaller than it should
it's
be.
24,000, right? 24,000.
Yeah, but if you do it on an AE map, you get 40,000. You get, sorry, I take that back. You get pi equals 2, right? Take whatever you think the distance is to the equator. The circumference of the equator is 4 times that radius, twice the diameter.
Yeah, that's why horizontals doesn't work for flat Earth like flat Earth thinks it does, because they'd have to end up with that pi equaling 2. And everyone knows there's only one way that you can end up with pi equaling 2. And that's not using flat Earth, is it? So they have been fooling everybody for quite a long time. And I'd say there's a lot of people that are also complicit within the dogmatic globe side as well. Because, I think they like to have the flat earthers around as pets. But Will Duffy sort of ruined that now, hasn't he? Because there's certain conversations that are going to be taken off the discussion. Similar as with the measured flat destructive dichotomy, right? Horizontal doesn't help the flat earthers at all. That's 69 miles measured horizontally on a map doesn't help the flat earth. So that's the number one defense for flat earth now, is to not talk about. You've got the Polaris angle measurement, it seems to have gone. The 69 miles horizontal, that's gone. What else have they got? I don't know what they've got, because they've got the 2-pole model now, which puts problems because the equator's the straight line. The straight line equator becomes the problem for flat Earth. So it's weird again. And all the time, like, it's the real globe's already been there. And I think the mission's clear, isn't it? Everybody should already know all of these things.
Bev, do you deny the claim that the real globe is or does conform to a sphere within a certain margin of uncertainty? I mean, somewhere between, let's say, a sphere with a 3,000 mile radius and a sphere with a 5,000 mile radius. Somewhere it fits somewhere. If you had a 3,000 mile radius sphere, it would fit entirely inside the Earth, and if you had a 5,000 mile radius sphere, that would fit entirely around the Earth, right? Do you disagree with that idea?
I'm with Plato and the sphere.
More
The
butter?
universe
Is that a
is
no?
described as being a sphere, right? Because it's like limitless. You're dealing with points.
So that's a no. I mean, I'm just
I've already
curious
said
to get an
it's
actual answer.
not a sphere, right? I must have said
No, no,
that
but
already.
answer Jesse's question.
Yeah, it's not a sphere.
No,
But I don't know.
answer
I
Jesse's
had to
question.
disagree with a claim that somebody had
There's no
made about
claim,
the real globe. That's
question.
what Jesse said. That's what Jesse
He asked
started it
you a
off by
question. Yep.
saying.
No.
He said, "Do you disagree with the claim?" And then went on
Yes.
to say stuff. But
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm
Repeat the claim for me.
unaware of the claim that's being made, and anybody can make any claim that they want.
He didn't. He asked you a question. Please answer
And
it.
I wouldn't be disagreeing that somebody had said that claim, or what would you want me to disagree about it? About the claim
The
that
truthfulness of the claim.
Disagree the truthfulness of the claim.
Yes, it is my claim that Earth is a shape which is larger than and would
I don't
entirely
objectify Earth like
hold
you.
on. Yeah, it's
Well,
my
I'm
claim.
telling you, I don't objectify thing. I would say that's sort of a false idol you're building, and you know what we say about false idols, right?
So it sounds like you do object to the claim. It sounds like you're saying that Earth
Don't object
would
to it.
not.
I'm just telling you my position.
It
I
sounds
don't
like
I don't objectify Earth.
do you have any evidence that Earth is would not fully or could not fully encompass the size of a 3,000 mile radius sphere, or that Earth could fully encompass the a 5,000 mile radius sphere?
No, I've never dealt in anything that.
Huh? You're a little
That
quiet.
big.
Let me turn you up.
Yeah, I've never dealt with anything for those sort of measurements. I wouldn't know how.
Well, you could start by measuring drop over distance on the surface to Blackpool Tower from Parabold.
Elevation change?
I said drop over distance. Drop from your horizontal, from a horizontal.
Elevation change, yeah.
From a horizontal, yeah.
Yeah, I have done measurements of elevation change.
And you've done measurements of drop from your horizontal as well.
Yeah, that's what I said. Measurements that you can do in reality, right? Like you can measure an angle to Polaris. Oh, can I just check? Has anybody here measured the Earth flat? I'm just checking because Nathan Oakley claims that everybody has.
Flat was not the result that I got, that's for sure.
I know. Yeah. I've not found anybody that has yet. So, I mean, I've been telling him surveyors don't measure the Earth flat for years. I had a thing with Flatside as well, did a stream with Flatside to tell Flatside that you don't. But, you know what flat earthers are like. They're going to argue all sorts of stuff. So you know how to get a globe? Like we've been trying to deal with the best and the most easiest way to talk to glormies, right? Because at some point, people are gonna, when Duffy brings out his documentary, Flat Earthers obviously gone. So we're gonna have to find a way to talk to people about, reality and the globe. So are you guys, I know you're used to talking to flat earthers, but what about when you start talking to the glormies? You're not going to sort of assume that they're flat earthers, are you? And obviously the flat earthers that are around at the minute, they really want to be convinced of the globe, the real globe. They think they can see that Jaren's, he's got a bit of integrity back at least.
Definitely on that point.
Have you ever measured an angle to Polaris, Jesse?
Me?
Yeah.
I believe so. I can't remember. I did a few of the planets and a few of other stars, but I don't remember if I did Polaris, but I believe I did do Polaris.
Did you check it with your latitude?
I did. If I did it, I checked them all with the latitude, and they were all surprisingly close.
Because you've got some actual theodolites, right? They measure angles the most accurately. I mean, you won't have any celestial ones like, the kit that Larry had on his, especially for, like, he had a sun scope as well for looking at the sun. You won't have any of that on your theodolites, will you?
Have what?
Any of the celestial stuff equipped on your theodolites?
Just solar filters on some of them.
Yeah. But that's not like Larry had one that had like different lenses and stuff that you could, they're kitted up for celestial measurements, aren't they? Rather than normal land use for the theodolites.
Yeah, the T3 had what's called, if I remember correctly, a broken light path, which means that the eyepiece is not in line with the lens, but it's at 90 degrees coming through the pivot point, so you can look through the eyepiece at any angle easily, and those were specifically made that way for pointing them at stars at a high elevation angle.
Yeah, I think he had one that had the like the sun, the circle on it, so that it was at the size of the sun, so you could put the sun in there.
Although a lot of times you can get a right angle eyepiece adapter for a normal theodolite, and almost all normal theodolites, even though they're primarily marketed for terrestrial use, they do have a handle, most of them, many of them anyway, that they have a handle that unscrews so that you can take the handle off, because it's on the top, so you can't see through the handle very well. So the handle comes off, and then you can get a right angle eyepiece, which does allow you to measure straight up. I don't own any of those adapters, though. They're kind of expensive.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, the angle's the problem, isn't it, on most theodolites, or most modern theodolites? That's why they're not equipped for celestial.
They can. I was able to just barely do Polaris. I could do 45 degrees or 48 degrees.
Yeah.
Or 43, whatever the difference is.
Yeah, I think they say about 50 is like a limit,
Yeah.
because you're not going to be able to get your eye on the eyepiece to look at it otherwise. Because I find there's not many people that have done that, even. Because you could say that, right? That's a priori, right? If you go outside and measure an angle, if you're Polaris privileged, you can go outside and measure an angle to Polaris, and that angle will match your latitude like magic.
Plus or minus a fraction of a degree, because Polaris is not actually at the center of the celestial pole. So it depends on whether it's above
And the
or below.
accuracy of your measuring tool as well.
What's that?
And the accuracy of your measuring tool.
Well, that's not the biggest source of uncertainty. You would need to, because Polaris is not actually at the center of the star rotation pattern. It's offset like a half a degree or something. So if it's at the top of the rotation and you measure, you're going to get an extra half a degree or whatever of elevation angle. If it's at the bottom, you'll get, a missing that much elevation angle. If it's exactly to the right or to the left, then you'll get spot on for your latitude.
Okay. So are you saying that your angle shouldn't match the Polaris?
Well, if you look up the actual altitude angle of Polaris at that moment, then yes. If you do it when Polaris is to the right of or to the left of the celestial pole, then it will match your altitude. But because Polaris does not plot a perfect, it's not in the very center, it plots a circle, then it could appear slightly higher or slightly lower, thus at those times not matching your altitude, your latitude perfectly, because it forms a circle, right?
So
just like all the other stars.
When you did this, that you forgot about just recently, of like you're speaking from experience, are you?
You mean
About
it
this
going in a circle?
Angle not always being Polaris.
Let me
So-
show you.
No, right. Here's the statement. You can go outside your house and measure an angle to Polaris, and that will match your latitude. That's my statement. And you seem to sort of counter it with no.
On average.
Is that right?
Well, I'm saying that there are certain
Can't
sources.
say well. Is that what you're saying?
Look, every measurement has sources of uncertainty. One of the uncertainties with Polaris is that it is not actually in the center, the exact center of the rotation.
That's not the claim anyway. The claim is that you measure an angle to Polaris and that will match your latitude. Are you agreeing or disagreeing with that statement?
Well, it depends on the position of Polaris on its rotation. There are times when it will, and there are times when it won't.
Okay. Now, when you say that, are you saying that because you have experience of measuring the angle to Polaris and it changing?
I only remember measuring Polaris once, maybe twice, but I don't remember comparing the results. However, I did personally take a time lapse, a long exposure, not a time lapse, of Polaris moving in a circular pattern around the north celestial pole. So I know personally that its elevation angle does change as viewed from the same location on Earth. So I know that it will not always match your latitude, because it cannot if it's appearing to go up and down in the sky. Does that make sense?
Okay, how much does that angle change?
Oh, like a plus or minus what, half a degree? Let me look it up.
See, this is where we're going now. You're not talking from experience, are you?
What do you mean?
you haven't ever done this to notice.
Okay, it
See,
says
this is where I said within the accuracy of the tool.
it looks like
Right? Because most people had put it within the accuracy of the tool and say, "Oh yeah, that does. It matches
Mic check. Mic
my
check.
latitude."
Anybody home? Mic check.
Yo, Polaris is just the closest star to north. It's not perfect. It wasn't put there by someone.
Yeah. Like I say, you can match your latitude by measuring an angle to Polaris from the location you are at. As long as you are
Very close.
Polaris
close.
privileged, you can actually see Polaris to measure an angle to it.
Yeah, within plus or minus 0.75 degrees.
Which is not error in the measurement.
Right, it's displacement of Polaris.
So if you measure a difference of 0.75 degrees, it might not be because your tool has an accuracy of 0.75 degrees.
I'm sure Jesse's tool is a lot more accurate than 3/4 of a degree.
Right, and
but he's only ever done it once or twice. He can't remember.
Well, and we can predict the amount of offset.
Has anybody else measured an angle to Polaris?
What, anybody else ever? I'm sure they have.
It doesn't seem like a common thing to do, does it?
I think astronomers do it.
Astronomers do it. Is that what you say?
Uh-huh.
I'm sure like
There's no
many
astronomers
people,
here.
But I'm not an astronomer.
Many people on ships have done it many times.
Yeah, no, I've measured an angle to Polaris. Don't worry about it. I know that there are, because I can speak from experience. Because I've done it.
And how did you done it?
Just measure an angle to Polaris. It's not hard.
And did it give you your latitude?
What did you use? A rubber band?
Well, I've got a sextant.
Oh, a sextant.
I've got a theodolite app on my phone.
Oh.
I done it with my finger.
Have you? Well, I mean, you should have said that earlier.
It was roughly about there.
Hey, you think you might be joking? There are flat earthers that have done that. They've told me that. It's a genuine method. Fingers and thumbs and hands and stuff.
Let me ask you a question, Bev, because I wanted to ask this to Alan. You've seen the celestial theodolite, I guess.
I've heard of it, yes.
If you follow the star with your fingers, it's going down and down, and then it hits the horizon. Yeah. Where does the star go then if you followed it with your finger?
I don't know. You can't follow it if it's not there.
But then it comes back up behind you.
What fascinates me about this,
in between where it goes on the horizon and then it comes back up behind you. Where does it go?
One of the first things you get taught in all of this sort of stuff is that the last 15 degrees can't be used within any of these celestial measurements, which I always wondered, how do they work out the linear relationship for the 1 degree to 69 miles if the last 15 degrees act a little bit weird? But
yeah,
then
I agree.
They brought out this celestial theodolite, and I'm thinking, sure, that's not closer than that 15 degrees, isn't it? Isn't that like part of the stuff that you get told? Like, you cannot discover anything accurately.
You can't answer. If you're high up and the star actually goes below your horizontal, what's all that about?
Well, I don't know. I've always said that these people who imagine that they can look at distances and measure vertical angles over distance with a theodolite, they're mental.
But still, though,
Crazy.
Bev, can you answer my question? If you just follow the star with your finger, when it hits the horizon, where does it go then?
And I don't know. I don't know whether you can follow that thing.
Everybody
They're
does.
going in a circle, aren't they?
I don't know. Where you tell me.
Well, they seem to go around in a circular pattern around Polaris.
No. If you follow the star and it goes down and down and then it hits the horizon, if you're pointing at the star, where would your finger go from there?
It depends where Polaris is. You've got to follow the circle.
Doesn't matter where Polaris is, but
All of the light, yeah, because the lights, unless it's Polaris, the lights go around it, and it depends where you are, right, as to what direction the lights go. It's crazy, but
it comes back up behind you, Bev. So where does it go in between those 2 points?
Look, the lights in the sky, that's
You
fucking
start
God's
suddenly
domain. I'm with
rotating
Plato.
left or right, or
Yeah, God's domain, not
I've
mine.
got goes to God's domain. Okay, it's an answer.
Yeah, the lights in the sky. I've not got to that stage where they fascinate me yet.
You religious, Bev?
Well, it depends what you mean by religious. A lot of people don't like the word for fucking religious.
Is there an afterlife?
I would say yes. I have found my religion.
Right.
I'm lucky enough to have found my religion. Yes.
Oh, that's nice for you. Nice. So that's where the stars go, to your religious place.
No, they're just lights in the sky.
Hi guys.
Evening.
Hey.
Was that the Omni monster I heard?
It is.
Hey, Omni, how's it going?
It's going all right. It's going all right. I told you I'm going for my master's in AI, so that's been like taking all my focus.
Oh, I can imagine.
But yeah, no, it's it's good.
I was just thinking about going for my master's and getting myself a lunch today.
Hopefully it won't take you a year.
I might have to, if it does, I'll have to pad it out with a lot of breakfasts and dinners so I don't starve to death.
Yeah, I was gonna say you better up your snack game.
So I've been watching a lot on AI or Atlas, the alien spaceship that's on its way. Anybody know?
Well, I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Is it going to get here before or after the rapture? Because
That's right.
Flopsoid did
It's
one of it.
happening
The
next month, so hopefully before.
23rd, 24th of September.
Yeah, not long.
No.
Tell me about the spaceship.
Yeah, which one's more likely?
Yeah. What do you think? Before the rapture or after? Or is it the rapture?
I don't know.
I would say I think not, but I don't think it's a rapture. But then I'm not at all sure the rapture is a thing anyway. So
I think it's going to hit Mars. That's what I predict.
could.
It gets pretty close to Mars.
If it's a spaceship, why would it hit Mars? Could it not just land on it?
I don't know. Maybe
Maybe
So
it
they
doesn't
don't
like
think
Mars.
it's a spaceship. You think it's just like a big rock. Do you think we'd get a chance to see it, or would it hit the other side?
Apparently, it's the other side of the sun when it gets close.
Would the sun get in the way, or will we get a chance to see it?
We'll see it when it comes back out the other side.
Should be getting some good pictures with all of the stuff they've got out there as well now, right?
There's a satellite going around Mars that they say will get good pictures.
So, I mean, I've heard the spaceship story. I've heard about it. What what do we think? I guess we know about it. Like, what do people actually believe is going on with that?
Well, it is displaying characteristics never seen before by a meteorite or asteroid.
Ah, okay.
It's outgassing metal, nickel.
Interesting. Okay.
And it has no tail, or a very, very short, stubby tail.
Okay. Interesting.
And it's big. 40 kilometers wide.
How much?
40 kilometers, I think.
Huh. Okay.
A very small ship, isn't it? And did you say it's off-gassing nickel?
Yeah, that's what they're detecting.
Like
No
the
iron.
The nickel belt in Ontario is thought to have been struck by a very large object full of metals, like nickel. And they believe that that's why we mine them up there. So I don't know if it's that. Like maybe they haven't detected this object before with these characteristics, but like, is it really that strange? Like I thought we knew these celestial objects like asteroids, meteorites, meteors, etc. Like were known to contain heavy elements.
Yeah, but by now, it should have been, they predicted outgassing water and lots of different metal. But it's
by now, what do you know about it that requires that this be the case? Like its entire progeny.
I've been watching a bit on it.
Okay, I'm curious about it. I want to find out more about it. I just because
So
the thing is,
I'm reading a Smithsonian Magazine article about it from let's see, August 28th. So not long ago. And it's moving too fast to be orbiting the sun, which leads them to conjecture that it came from another star system
outside the solar system. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is pretty cool.
Okay.
And it does seem to have a unusual composition. Let's see. The high nickel and abundance of carbon dioxide that were detected in Atlas's coma, a shroud of gas and dust that envelops comets, similar to icy objects as material sublimates and breaks off the body, is called the nucleus. Its CO2 to water ratio in the coma is among the highest ever seen in any comet, says Martin Koridner, an astronomer at the Catholic University of America, Catholics, and principal investigator of the JWST observations. So that's where the conspiracy starts for sure.
Oh, there we go.
3i/Atlas is still far enough away. I think 3i is the object and Atlas is the telescope. So far enough away from the sun that the amount of activity astronomers have already detected comes as a surprise. The JWST observations captured the object at 3.3 astronomical units away from the sun, or 3.3 times the average distance between the Earth and the sun. And the most recent Very Large Telescope observations have occurred at 2.85 astronomical units. The inbound object will reach perihelion, its closest approach to the sun, around October 30th, before slingshotting around our star and hurtling back out into interstellar space. One possible reason for 3i Atlas's unique composition is that it has been soaring through interstellar space for an extraordinarily long time, perhaps 7 billion years or more, according to a model based on its velocity relative to the sun. If this object has passed through the galactic disk a few times, it will probably have passed through interstellar clouds, probably passed through star-forming regions where there's new giant stars being born and supernova going off, Cordner says. It's probably passed through a whole range of different environments.
Like ones
Floating
that are
through the
different
near
than other comets we've seen before. Isn't that
Yeah, well,
crazy?
comets generally orbit the sun, right? I mean, so this is not a comet. It's not what we would.
So it's a new different thing than what we've seen before,
Right.
and it has new different properties than what we've seen before. That is mind blowing. How could that be true?
It's pretty cool.
I think it sounds awesome. I don't know why we have to start with incredulity. We can start with some skepticism.
I don't see any reason for. I mean, I haven't been. This is the first I heard some nonsense about a spaceship coming to Earth, but I didn't pay any attention to that. I don't know if that's related to this or not.
I was only joking about the spaceship part.
I know. I didn't think it was. I'm not sure if the nonsense I heard about it, which was not here, was related.
But is it on the same plane as all our planets, which is quite unusual?
Is it on the same plane? I didn't know that. Huh. As it nears the sun, the activity is expected to increase, particularly the sublimation of water ice into water vapor. 3i Atlas will remain visible from the Earth through September, after which it will pass too close to the sun to see and then re-emerge in late November or early December.
It is unusual, you know.
How big is it? Do they know? Do they say?
40 kilometers wide, apparently.
Oh man, if it hit us, holy shit, that would be the end of us.
I'd be all over. Or if it hit the moon.
Yeah, probably, yeah. The moon would go into us like a pool ball. Orbits on objects like 3i are very likely to come from stars that are galactically old, says Michael Bannister, an astronomer at the University of Canterbury in New Zealand. Modeling Michelle Bannister. Modeling work by Bannister and her colleagues suggests that 3i Atlas came from the thick disk of the galaxy, a diffuse outer layer of primarily old stars that surround the denser and more active thin disk where the sun is located.
I've been watching a YouTuber, Dobsodian something, and he's live tracking it every single night.
Yeah, it looks like it might come closer to hitting Mars.
Yeah, very close to Mars, and then very close to Jupiter on the way out.
Yeah. No. If it hit Jupiter, it would just piss it off. Jupiter, I mean.
But it is on the same plane as the planets, I'm sure it is, which is very unusual.
Yeah, that does seem odd. But, I mean, odd, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, somebody had to plan it.
Yeah.
Maybe Bev could make a song about it. You missed the song on
Floating rocks. Not really got.
Everybody else saw it, Bev. Let's call it that.
I find it fascinating. People that believe other people can
You find what? Say again?
think the impossible or believe the impossible, but they can't themselves.
I'd say I've been watching a guy and he's got a telescope and he's live streaming it every night. Now he could be lying, of course, but looks like a lot of work to be lying.
Well, you got to add in all the other people that do the same kind of stuff every night from
Yeah,
all
exactly.
around the world. And
They're all
then not only they're all lying, they're all telling the same lie perfectly. That's the amazing thing.
I mean, do we even have a reason why we think that it's, a lie?
I mean, I don't.
I don't. Bev.
I think what's a lie?
It's outer space.
Well, yeah, like I say, space is just the distance between physical
No,
objects.
outer
Right?
space, Bev. Not space, outer space.
Same thing, isn't it? What's different
No.
about it?
There's a difference between what we detect here in Earth's atmosphere and what we measure to be happening after you leave Earth's atmosphere. So are you willing to admit that we use the word outer space to describe those things that happen to matter and energy outside of that area, or do we have to have a pedantic conversation to be able to answer the question?
No, I already said about that. I agree with Plato. That's where the sphere is, the universe, right? Limitless.
How about cosmos? A descriptor, the cosmos.
The universe. What's up with that?
So you agree with Plato. Do you believe any other work in cosmology has been done since the time of Plato?
Yeah, loads of stuff's been done. People have been looking at the lights in the sky for thousands of years.
Plato is Spanish for plague.
Brilliant.
I mean, isn't that enough?
Yeah, I mean, in the idea, right, that Plato knew that a sphere isn't a solid, right? It's not one of his Platonic solids, but Plato knew that the sphere was within the realm of God. So that's why he gave it to the universe, limitless, incomprehensible. Right? That's what it is.
That sentence was not super coherent, at least not with this topic.
Well, yeah, we know that we can't know the whole of whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah, I agree. There appear to be physical limitations to how far we can see into space-time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so you think
Limitless.
that well, we don't know that it's limitless. What we do know is
put a limit to it.
You can't, but that does not make it limitless. We cannot see far enough to determine one way or the other. We have limits, but therefore we cannot answer that question. But that does not limit the universe to a finite size, nor does it confirm that it is infinite in size.
Yeah.
It just means we don't know, and we probably none of us alive here on this little discussion here will probably live long enough to determine whether it's possible to ever know.
I will
That's
tell
why
you that
I
it's
agree with
possible to
Leighton.
know, and I know. I know all of this, so
Omni knows it?
I know it.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. Well, if Omni knows, then we're all set.
I'm just letting you know. You know.
All right. Omni is omniscient, and it remains to be seen if he's omnipotent.
That's what it means. That's right.
But are you omnipresent?
I'm omnibeneficent.
Beneficent.
Which means I am not omnipresent because that would suck for some people.
Well, anytime I've ever wanted to talk to you and you weren't there, I knew you weren't omnipresent.
Oh, that's as far as you know, but maybe I knew you were there and
you were just hiding.
I was just hiding. I was concealing my power.
You were present. Like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Maybe.
Sometimes I look and you look lonely on your own.
Omni lonely.
Sometimes I'm in here by myself. It is true,
All
but
right.
I am never lonely.
I've been there by myself too.
My dog. I am always with my doggo, and my doggo keeps me.
Constant presence.
Yes.
I think my dog forgets I exist every once in a while, given how excited she is when I come home from work.
My cat knows that I exist, but she only acknowledges it when she wants food.
I'm pretty sure the dog doesn't think I'm hers. Or that she's... No, I'm not her owner. My daughter is, in her mind. The rest of us might as well not exist, but she's happy we do. But yeah, cats are not generally the most enthusiastic about their owners, in my experience. And I'm allergic to cats, so I don't own one. So I don't have to find out. But they do tend to be a large portion of the reason the internet exists.
Yes. Well, it turns out that cats are extremely popular. Videos of cats are for whatever reason highly.
Oh, it's Al Trucker hot breathing.
Oh, is that me? Sorry. I'll try to unmute myself. If you guys weren't so sexy, I wouldn't have to breathe so hard.
But anyway, yeah, that was a good. So how's it going, Jesse? Path of Ship. I like Path of Ship. I think that's a cool.
I did that one just for DMOC some months ago or something, because he was asking for a left to right measurement of curvature, and so that's in reminiscence of my left to right curvature measurement.
Yeah, I recall somewhat. Yeah.
Well, it's pasted right there. It's actually the last picture in the text chat.
Yeah. He did not quite get what he wanted, right?
Didn't seem to.
Yeah. It's sad how that does seem to be the case often.
Well, Alan banned me and John from the Flat Earth Gang server for asking some very simple questions about the celestial theodolite assumptions.
I know. I
No
mean,
big-
I don't know, but I believe me, I'm not
I
shocked
was
to hear it.
you, Jesse.
What's that?
I was sticking up for you and John.
Oh, thanks. So are you still in there?
No, not at the moment.
Oh, did they ban you also?
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm still allowed in.
Oh, good.
How do they deal with the sun circles? Or are you just sort of letting them off? Or
They won't let you ask any questions. Don't worry about it.
yeah. Because isn't that going to be the future, right? If you every time you bring up an argument, they'll tell you that's not the argument and then not
Yeah.
talk about it. Which
You're not doing it their way, so you're not doing
Yeah.
it right.
well, the measured flat destructive dichotomy is going to take horizontal off them. So what actually is their argument with the celestial theodolite? I mean, what is it that they're trying to conclude? Right? Is it just like we're measuring the Earth flat? Are they
No.
doing the measuring the Earth flat for Nathan Oakley?
I think they're just selling T-shirts, frankly.
It changes every week.
Well, I mean that's the point, right? Nathan Oakley hasn't measured the Earth flat. Every surveyor will tell you that they don't measure the Earth flat, right? They do exactly the opposite. And so, who's measuring the Earth flat? Is that what the celestial theodolite argument is meant to be? You know, is that
Maybe
are they
so,
meant to
yeah.
say?
They think they measure it every week flat.
Yeah,
Then
they are
Jesse
claiming
or
that.
John shows them how they're wrong, and then they change something else the next week. And then again, Jesse shows them what they did wrong.
But wouldn't it be good to get them together with Nathan Oakley? Right? Because like they are actually trying to measure the Earth flat for Nathan Oakley. But
We should
That would
we
be
should
funny
get them
now.
together, get them fencing.
Yeah.
A 1v1 fencing match would between
well, I
them.
mean, they're the same team now, aren't they? Aren't they working together? Like, because Nathan's writing the book, the Flat Earth thinking. Think about all of the other things he's got to take off, right? Because he obviously can't do the latitude measuring an angle to Polaris.
Well, Nathan will have his literary career, and they'll have their T-shirt career, and you can have your music career, Bev.
I've got loads of stuff.
It's a good song, Bev, but it dragged on a little bit, I'll be honest.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's only to get the point across about the mental condition, right? It's the psychology behind it. How somebody can believe that other people can do impossible things, but
I heard he was a microphone salesman.
yeah, I think that's what he's doing. That's what he's got. He makes little videos selling microphones so you can hear what they sound like. But obviously, they only sound as good as your sound system.
Do they have a built-in mute button?
Weird. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what those guys are gonna do, and I know Neil's hanging around. If Neil's out there, like, tell him to give us a shout, and we'll have a word with him.
The only one I like in Nathan's is Chocolate. Chocolate's a nice guy. If he's still there. I haven't been there for ages.
Chocolate's a 24/7 guy. I think they've had to.
Well, he doesn't go to Oakley's anymore, does he?
No, I think they've fallen out. I think.
Oh, never. Good. I like that because he was a nice guy and Nathan Oakley's a cock.
Well, the 24/7 guys are the ones.
Yeah, they're not
that set the
not much
system
better.
up. We was listening to Jedi talking because he's been away and he's come back again. But Jedi's full on board with the east-west circles, which is amazing. I think it put them in problems fucking ages ago. We did it with Jared. Vessey's here. He'll remember that. We tried to tell them, the flat earthers, right, that there's a massive problem when you have east-west circles. And the new flat earth, the ones that have, been foiled by the counter-rotating sun circles, their new thing is to go for east-west circles again. They're mad. So they're just going to have to, they talk a load of shit and then you're not allowed to ask them questions or point out like how wrong they are.
How do you explain the counter rotation then, Bev?
Impossible to explain.
All right.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think there's certain signs that you get.
Gods, you're going to go with gods, or?
Well, I think there are certain signs that you are meant to get that they're beyond logic, beyond reasoning. So therefore, it lies in a realm beyond human comprehension. And yeah, you have to give those sort of things to God. I think if you don't, you'll end up going mad trying to work it out.
So it's kind of like Cthulhu, right?
Kind of like what?
Cthulhu. An elder being from the outer stars that if you learn too much about, you will go insane.
No, there's
I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like.
Or Medusa.
There's logic, right? And then once you find the contradiction, you know that there's something that you can't solve, right?
I don't know if I buy this. I'm not sure that the contradiction is what you think.
Yeah.
But I mean,
most people can't even comprehend the contradiction because the mind isn't set up for it.
Okay, well, you're probably right. You're probably right that most people can't comprehend the contradiction. That's probably true.
Hello, Omnivore.
Hello.
Are you watching a video?
Have you gone insane trying to comprehend the contradiction, No Takes?
What's the contradiction?
I don't know. You have to ask Bev.
What is the contradiction? Well, you're talking about the contradiction that there's a man named Bev. I guess you can have whatever name you want.
A contradiction. I don't know if it's the contradiction.
Yeah, I don't know what the contradiction is. You'd have to make an argument. For there to be a contradiction, somebody would have to make an argument because there's no contradictions in reality.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's a good answer.
Yeah. But you do have a problem trying to explain the counter-rotating sun circles, don't you?
I mean, maybe definitely. Do I have a problem? Well, that entails some definitions. So counter rotation, sun circles, these things would require definitions. So circle has a definition, sun has a definition, counter rotation has, rotation has a definition, counter rotation. So they all have to reference something. What are you referencing?
Clockwise rotation and anti-clockwise rotation. They're counter rotations.
There you
Yeah,
go.
so if they're then you get to the definitions. If there's if they're a rotation, and you're saying the sun's circle, so now you have a circle. You have to prove the circle that it's going in, so that the sun is moving within a plane. You'd have to show that to be the case, and then for it to be a rotation, it would have to be around a point. You'd have to show me the thing that you're referencing for the rotation to be around a point.
Right?
If that's how you're starting it.
Yeah, and the sun would be rotating around you in opposite directions.
Okay, equidistant from me.
Nobody said anything about equidistant.
Okay, so then I'm not the
I don't
center.
believe that's an issue. It's just the counter-rotating sun circles.
Well, there's definitions in there. So if it's a circle and you're saying I'm at the center of it, then yeah, I would be equidistant from all points at the extremity of the circumference of the circle.
Huh?
I mean, I've dumbed it down. I don't know. I dumbed it down for you.
Yeah, but the problem is that these sun circles are counter-rotating and they're impossible to explain.
Yeah, I mean, just right there. There's a few contradictions in there. I mean, unless it's the case that I'm always at the center.
There is no contradictions in reality, right?
No, just in the argument.
Plane.
Yeah, there's no contradictions in reality. No.
Okay. So you would be able to explain how you can have the sun counter-rotating, right?
Yeah, but that entails
free from
a circle.
contradiction, right? Nobody here would ever question you and your ability to explain this, right?
Well, I mean, there's assumptions, there's pre-assumptions built in there.
Maybe there might be some
argument.
things that are contradictory in reality.
If you just stand on the spot and turn around, everything rotates around you. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That there are some presuppositions in there that it's there's a sun circle. A circle is lies within a plane, and then a circle has a center. So if it's moving, if it's moving around me as I'm in the center, you'd have to show how I'm the center.
Rotating.
Okay, so now so with the counter rotation, it also entails that there's a center that it's rotating around. Where's the center?
You would be the center of these circles.
Okay, now if I move, am I at the center
your
again?
Location, yes.
All right, so if I move my location,
to go to certain locations for you to be able to witness these things because they are an observation, a real life observation.
Well, listen, I've already shown you how it cannot be. It cannot be a counter rotation of a sun circle if I move my position, because then I wouldn't be equidistant from the circle. It's just definitionally true.
To explain. Because it involves contradiction, something beyond logic, right? But you have said that there are no such thing as contradictions in reality.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a contradiction, because if it was true, right, that contradictions existed, right, then that would be a contradiction, and it would show that it's false. It would show the falsity of it.
Yeah, like the contradiction that it's observably self-evident that the Earth is not flat, yet you can still consider yourself a flat earther.
Yeah, it would just be to the definition.
To me, would be a contradiction.
Well, it wouldn't be an actual contradiction. It would just be disseminating what your definition of flat earther is.
Yeah. But to me, I would think that you've trying to justify and accept a contradiction. Where you and everybody else can actually see that the Earth is not flat.
Yeah, self-evident.
Still believed to have some sort of a conception of it when you know it's a contradictory conception because it's not flat.
Yeah, that would just be if you go to make an argument, there could be a contradiction within an argument, but not in reality.
Nothing is flat. Nothing is flat.
Well, you'd have to know. Listen, you'd have to know what flat is to say that it's not that. But that's something else.
Not bad. I like it.
Well, for you to say that this proposition is false, then there would have to be something that that's true that makes that definition, that proposition false. So you'd have to know the truth to claim the falsity.
Well, wait a minute. So to say that something's false, you have to say that something else is true. I don't think.
You're inferring it. Yeah.
So if you're just saying that logically, if I say something is false, then the inverse has to be true.
No, not exactly. You'd have to know.
It's true that it is self-evidently not flat.
Yeah, it's self-evident.
Right? Yeah. So therefore, you could say flat Earth is false, right? Because it is self-evidently true that the Earth is not flat.
Yeah, you could stop right there if you like. Yeah, but then you could.
I feel like that's a maybe. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's many different ways to falsify flat Earth, right?
Wow.
It's becoming more and more, right? Because it's becoming more self-evident to everybody that the Earth is not flat.
I agree. The 24-hour sun in Antarctica has kind of, falsified the most naive theories of flat Earth, right? I mean, that we would agree with.
Well, see, this is what I was going to say. Like to Bev's, you could stop at it's evident that the Earth is not. It's self-evident. The Earth is not flat. But then you'd have to agree to terms. And then what happens is, somebody points at the sun and they say the sun is the Earth. And the Earth is now determined by the sun circle, as if they're the same thing.
Who'd do that? The sun is
I don't
the
know.
Earth now.
Well, somebody pointed to it and said, "Can you explain this on an Earth?"
I think you'd say that person's mad, wouldn't you? Normally, somebody pointed to the sun and said, "That's the Earth now."
Yeah, they point to the sun and say the sun is what dictates what the Earth is. The truth of the sun is the truth of the Earth is dependent on the truth of the sun. Yeah.
Well, we've already shown that it's self-evidently not flat. So, I mean, you're quite free to point at the sun and say whatever you want. But,
You could.
It's self-evidently not flat. So.
Yeah, and then you gotta. I mean, I have terms, you have terms, he has terms.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, I mean, it comes down to definitions and agreeing to terms.
Yeah, and the fact that the counter-rotating sun circles are impossible to explain. But
you'd have to be at the center.
69 miles, right? Give you all the flat earthers the best you could ever give them. You've got 69 miles between 1 degree of latitude change. That means you've got 90 of those 69 miles, and they're obviously horizontal because you can measure them on a map. That's horizontal. So 69 times 90 horizontal. Wow. 6,210 miles. I mean, how do you fit that around a 24,000 mile, 24,901 mile equator? I mean, how do you match that? How do you match your 6,210 mile horizontal measured flat? Horizontal. You can't do it, can you?
Bev, have a look.
You've got pi equaling 2. If you're looking for curvature, that's where it is. It's in those horizontal miles measured.
Bev, if you would have a look at these cartoons they're going to show you, and the non-real stuff from so far away that nobody's measured anything, the guy will look from one place to another.
Angle to Polaris. I mean, no, not many people have.
Bev, have a look at the video and if that's flat enough.
Yeah, what you're not understanding though is that the Earth is flat between specific degrees, and then it's kind of curved at the poles. Oh wait, or is it the other way? No, it's the other way around. It's a globe in the middle, but then flat at the poles. That's right. I had it backwards.
Well, it's flat when you zoom in, but a cue ball when you zoom out. Just like a real cue ball, you zoom in, it's a cue ball. You zoom out, it's a cue ball. Earth's just different. It's a different kind of ball. It's a magic ball. Changes and shit.
It's not a ball. We know
No,
that.
I'm saying in the globe model, it's a magic ball on GPS.
Yeah,
You
it's not
zoom
a
in, it's
ball, though.
flat,
We do know
close
it's
and
not a
local.
ball, right?
Right,
Us
listen to what I'm
adults.
saying. Stop fucking talking over me.
Yeah.
Okay, when you zoom in on a program, a video program called GPS, it's on your flat phone. It shows you close and local, zoom in. It's not a live zoom, clearly, right? Because if it was, and if it was a ball, it'd say cue ball big, cue ball little. Right now, they say it's a ball on their GPS. You zoom in and it's flat. So it doesn't make any damn sense. Can't have the two. It's got to be one or the other. Zoom in, zoom out. But you're correct. It's not a ball. Sorry, go ahead. I agree with you. I'm saying on a television program, they show you a ball. Nowhere else in reality do you experience this, ever, for nobody. So let's get real.
I don't watch
Yeah, I don't know what
programs.
One of the issues I would say, Bev, that seems like you're facing here is the contradiction that you can have a circle equidistant to a circumference at different at different points within the circle. So you can't have that. It's a contradiction.
Yeah, there's a law of non-contradiction within Euclidean reasoning, right? Logic that we all use in reality. And you have to use that logic to be able to find the contradiction. That's the point.
I didn't follow that.
You said there is no contradiction in reality.
Not in your. I'm not saying there's no contradiction in your reasoning.
You said there's no contradiction in reality.
Yeah, no, yeah. Facts are not contradictory. Yeah, there's only facts in reality. They're not facts and not facts.
The sun can circle counter rotations. You don't think that's a little bit contradictory?
It just wouldn't be unless there's a center point. It wouldn't. You couldn't call it a counter rotation of a sun circle.
Well,
unless you're at the center of a.
If you live in Australia, then the sun rises on your right and moves to your left. But if you live like where I live, the sun rises on the left and moves to the right. Now that happens. That happens every day. You don't think that's a little bit contradictory?
No. What's the contradiction?
What the sun moves in different rotations, depending on where.
Well, I don't know. I'd have to get a map out, and then I'd have to refer the map. But if you're saying my right, my left, that's relative to your position. I don't know if there's a contradiction there.
Yeah. Have you ever been talking to the southern dwelling flat earthers?
Yeah, they have to account for moss growing on the south of their homes. Right? Where in the north, you look at the north.
What about how they get their latitude?
Same way as everybody else, yeah.
Yeah, and how's that? Well, I get it by measuring an angle to Polaris, but I don't think they can see Polaris.
No, I think they get an angle to the Southern Cross, or so one of the other 57 navigate. Yeah, the same method.
A different.
Yeah, they might have a different point of reference. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know that the lights in the sky go a different way around?
I don't know.
Opposite ways.
I don't know that. No, I don't know that.
No. Is that because you've never experienced it, or?
Yeah, I've never experienced it. Yeah.
Have you never bothered talking to the guys who live in the south about where they get their latitude from, or the way that the stars and the sun seem to go in opposite directions?
Well, they still reference east to west.
Mm-hmm. But it seems to be opposite directions.
East and west is opposite. Yeah, I can never imagine it. So I've gone through like the mental demonstration, but I haven't experienced it.
Isn't it?
I mean, if it's the case, I can't imagine exactly
you
what they're saying.
You don't think it's contradictory, though, do you? Not?
No, because if they're going in the opposite direction, then it's true that they're going in the opposite direction. There's no contradiction. They're not going in the opposite direction and not going in the opposite direction at the same time in the same way. Yeah, so like I was going to say, and I've heard the explanation, right? And I can't imagine it being something other than that, right? That if I'm facing north and on whatever we call 5 degrees north of the